everybody. Randy Patterson here with Boomerocity, and as I record this, it is March 2nd, 2025, and word is floating around all over the internet that the last remaining band member of the iconic band Badfinger has passed away. His name is Joey Molland, and I had the privilege of interviewing him about 5 years ago, and the interview was out there. The audio's been out there, but I thought I would brush it up a little bit and make it available on YouTube and all major podcast platforms to commemorate his passing. He was a great guy, a great storyteller. I had met him in the first year, in fact, in the first months of when I launched Boomerocity. It was backstage at a Hippie Fest show that had stopped in Dallas, and I tell a little bit more about it in the intro. I've clipped out the original intro to this as far as graphics and such because, quite frankly, things have improved. But I wanted to leave my very flawed original intro to the interview because I think it just was a little more heartfelt. It's not smooth at all. Not that I'm smooth now, but I just thought I'd leave it intact so you could get the feel of things from back 5 years ago when I first started doing the videos of my interviews. This interview is a phone conversation, so there's no video of him, but I put a slideshow to it so it'd be a little more palatable to listen to if you're more of a visual person. If you're listening to this on podcast, this is pretty much, with a couple of very minor exceptions, the original audio of my phone chat with Joey Molland. It's a sad day in rock and roll. A lot of great music by Badfinger. Not enough music from Badfinger, quite frankly. But I just wanted to share this with you all in a little bit better format than it had been. Rest in peace, Joey. You were a great guy. Until next time, this is Randy Patterson with Boomerocity. Take care. Hello, Boomerocity readers and viewers. Welcome to another interview here with yet another legend in rock and roll music. I know a lot of you probably remember Badfinger as teenagers and when their albums came out, and the great songs, and probably the girls all loved each individual member of the band and embraced one of them as their favorite. For me personally, I remember their music coming out because Mom and Dad would listen to the radio in the car, and especially on long road trips, on vacations and such, we'd have the radio on. And I remember very much hearing what I would later learn, years later, Badfinger music on there, like Come and Get It and Baby Blue and all those great hits. Well, fast forward to the first year, the summer, in fact, after Boomerocity launched, my daughter and I, we lived in Dallas at the time, and we went to a hippie fest, and among those performing was Joey Molland. And my daughter and I were hanging backstage, and I think I bumped into Joey, might have said hi to him or some such, but we didn't chat more than that if we chatted at all. And but man, did he ever put on a great show with a lot of his peers. And so fast forward to a couple weeks ago, I had the privilege of finally interviewing Joey and talking about his new album, Be True to Yourself. And let me tell you folks, it is a phenomenal album. You've got to listen to it. If you love Badfinger, if you love the Beatles, if you love that whole genre of music, you're going to absolutely love Be True to Yourself. And this chat that you're down to listen to is just an audio file that you're going to hear with a slideshow put to it. But you'll just hear how great Joey is. I mean, he's just such a warm-hearted, very easy guy to talk to, and very friendly. I know that that time 11 years ago, 12 years ago, that I saw him backstage. He was friendly to everybody, and doesn't meet a stranger apparently. So anyway, listen in on this, and when you're done listening to it, I encourage you to click on the little icon on this page and order your copy of Be True to Yourself. It comes out in October, And but you can pre-order now, obviously. But believe me, it's going to be worth your while. Thanks a lot, and enjoy the listen.
Hello?
Hello, Joey.
Yeah,
Randy Patterson here with Boomerocity. How you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Where are you at? Up in the Minnesota area, it looks like?
Yeah, I'm over in St. Paul, actually, yeah.
Oh, right. Well,
Yeah.
I'm calling you from the Great Smoky Mountains in East Tennessee, so.
Oh. I came up there and made a record once.
Really? Where, in Nashville or in East Tennessee?
In Memphis.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's on the western side of the state there, yeah. You must have gone over to Stack Records or something, huh?
Yeah, I went down to, not Stacks, but the one around the corner, Royal, was it?
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, Willie Mitchell's place.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I think it's on Willie Mitchell Boulevard there, or I could be wrong, but anyway, I had a great time, and it was a great ambition of mine to go there to make a record, so it did. And the record didn't turn out too good, but it was great, and I really enjoyed it, you know.
Yeah.
Just nice. Got to play with some great players. Yeah, hey, did you say your name was Randy?
Yeah, Randy Patterson.
Okay, yeah, that's right, yeah.
Well,
you got a thick accent.
Well, some people say I don't have one at all, but it just all depends on where you're from, I guess. So.
I guess so. Yeah.
You and I met actually when I lived in Dallas. It was about 11 years ago. You were on one of those Hippie Fest tours, and my daughter and I were hanging out backstage, and we were, catching most of the show from back there. You were there with Leslie West and Chuck Negron and Felix Cavalieri and all those guys. Man, it was a great show, and you did an amazing job as always on there. So,
well, thank you, sir.
So how's
thank you.
how's the pandemic been affecting you and your family so far?
Well, it hasn't been too bad. My one of my sons was tested for. He lives up in Chicago, and so we're waiting on that. But it hasn't affected my eldest son Joe and myself. We've been doing okay, and the rest of our family seems to be holding up. So thank the Lord, it's great, really.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've known people that's been affected by it, but none of my family, fortunately, has been. So that's I feel very fortunate in that. So how do you think this thing is going to affect you guys as far as touring and stuff? I know I talked to Felix Cavalieri a few weeks ago, and he was saying, man, it's going to change. As far as he's concerned, it's going to change how tours are done, how tours are booked, and meet and greets and all that kind of thing. How do you see it? Yeah,
pretty much the same. I'm not really quite sure how it will affect the shows. I've been doing a few kind of podcasts and things like that. But I'm just biding my time. Hopefully, we'll get back to being able to play some theatres and stuff. I've had 2 tours cancelled out this year, lost about 60 or 70 shows.
Ouch.
And they've been put on back, and of course the one-nighters have all been cancelled.
Yeah.
So it really has affected us and the crews and stuff. A lot of my friends are hurting, really in a financial way, just because the work isn't there.
Right.
So it's just one of those things. It's hard to deal with. It's frustrating not to get out and do what you do. But you can't do anything about it. There's no point in getting freaked out or nothing.
Boy, isn't that the truth? Yeah.
I'm just hoping it comes back. Yeah, it's just what it is. You've got to do what's necessary, and we all have really to get rid of it. So I'm just trying to do my bit. Staying home most of the time. Play my guitar around the house, watch old movies, do all the things that everybody else does.
Get all those honeydews done, huh?
That's right. Yeah.
Well, hey, I love your album, man. I was have given it a listen to a couple times since Carrie Baker gave me the the stream to it, and oh my gosh, I love it. It's why so long between since your last album, man? This is good stuff.
Well, I did a few albums, some solo albums, and I've been mainly producing myself. And I don't look at myself as a record producer, so it was becoming a kind of a little bit of a frustrating thing. But over the past few years, I've made some friends, into some Beatle fests, and I met Mark Hudson at one of them, and we got to be really quite good friends, very good friends. And eventually, he asked me, did I have any songs? And so I sent him, 30 or 40 tunes that I had in the bag, and he listened to me. We should make a record. Let's do this. And was able to come up with some money and get in the studio. Mark brought some great musicians. We did it in New York at Mission Sound, and it was very exciting. And it turned out really quite good. Mark is such a great producer that it really sounds like a record to me. It's something. And the surprise of my life that I've actually made a record. You know what I mean? It has been a while, you know what I mean? I wasn't really planning on making a record. I get ideas for songs, and, I'll make myself a little demo album, and, so it's just, it's like a surprise to me, and, it's really exciting because it turned out so good,
Yeah. Well, it's, I was really amazed at how it came out because, to me, as a fan, of course, and I'll speak generically. There's people out there who kind of rehash things, and as a fan, we love all the old stuff, but and somehow or other, we're finicky, right? We want to hear something similar to the old stuff, but we want new stuff, and some artists don't pull that off. But you've done that with this album because, obviously we hear some Badfinger in there. We hear some Beatles. We hear, a little bit of everything, but it's all brand new. It's all fresh. And, lyrics I think are great on there. Especially, I was listening to Better Tomorrow, and I thought, wow, what a thought-provoking song. That's, what's the story behind that song?
Well, I got the idea when coming out of the terrorist, era, when there were terrorist attacks all over the place, and it occurred to me that people, we send our young lads out there to fight. That's the line they tell you that it's time to go, and you've got to do your part, and all of this stuff. And then I thought about the moolah out there, sending all of the young Arab kids out and telling them it's their time to go. They got to do their part. And, it was originally going to be called Ship to Mars. I figured it would just be a lot better if these guys sat down with each other and figured out how to build a rocket ship that would go to Mars, rather than sending out the army and the kids to die. And that's how I got the idea. When I played it to her, he thought it might be going a little bit far, and so he came up and did some work with me, and came up with the chorus there, really, and that's how it came together.
Wow.
And all the songs on the record are like that. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just listening.
Well, I get ideas for songs, and I write them about what they're about. I don't kind of soften them up and anything. That's why it's good to work with the producer. He can pull out the good melody from the song that you've got, and maybe change a lyric here or there, and make it all make sense for everybody, and they can enjoy it. And, I'm astounded, really, that, the reaction to the songs, you know what I mean? You try and write good stuff, and, it seems like this time, we've got it right. We'll see. But, it's just, I'm really happy that you like the tunes.
Well, I know that with songs, that songwriters and musicians don't necessarily like to pick or say they have a favorite song, because it's like picking your favorite kid, right? You just don't want to do that. But so what I start, yeah, it kind of gets us in trouble, doesn't it? But
yeah,
but what I have started asking your peers, and I'll ask you, what song would you use as a calling card for the album? If I was talking to a fan or somebody that has lived under a rock all their life and never heard of you or Badfinger, if I would say, hey, you got to hear this album, here is a good calling card for the whole album, what song would you use to fit that bill?
Well, it'll be one of the ones that they've chosen. I think. All I do is cry and those kind of things. Well, it's difficult to choose one though. It really is, as a representative of the album. But I think the song "Heaven" is worth a good listen. It's got a nice groove to it, and it's got a nice atmosphere, and it's got some good lyrics. So that will be difficult for me to choose one. Rainy Day Man's a really good little tune.
Yeah, it is.
This Time is a good little tune.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, it's obvious what that's about.
Yeah.
But, maybe This Time would be a good one.
Yeah. Well, you have some stellar talent that came to help you in the way of some of your friends on there. Julian Lennon and Mickey Dolenz and Jason. Oh God, my mind just went blank.
Jason Chef, yeah.
Yeah, so Jason Chef. Yeah, I mean, God, what a lineage there with his dad. Jerry, and his brother's a good player too, Darren. And Darren and I are friends. I met Jason at the James Burton fundraiser in Nashville back in November, and gosh, what a great guy he is. But you must have had a lot of fun pulling these guys together, helping you out on the songs. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, these are all guys that I've done tours with, and I've gotten to know them on the tours, and real sweethearts generally. The ones that came and played and sang to me, of course. And so, it's just really nice that these guys are doing things themselves. And I'm asking them to take the time and come and do this stuff with me, and work on ideas, harmony ideas, and back in. And Mark was great doing all the scheduling, getting everybody in, because we didn't have a lot of time. It was, I really enjoyed it, man. And these guys are super talented. Jason Chef is a great singer, isn't he?
Oh yeah, he's a monster, man.
Yeah, and to see him up there singing those harmonies, he just kills it. It's really super.
Yeah.
It's just a great. I don't know. I'm really lucky, I suppose, to have had this opportunity. To work with them all, and then like I say, it just happened that Julian. I'd met a few years ago, but I mean, we're not very close friends or anything, but I'd known him and we got on okay. And he just happened to be coming into New York. And so Mark found out and called him up and talked to him a little bit and told him I was doing a new record. And he said, "You want to come and sing?" And Julian was lovely. "Yeah, I want to come and sing," he said. He just came down to the studio and worked with us for a day or so. And did a bunch of harmony, a bunch of backing vocals, and he was really super. Yeah.
That was great. I can pick him out in there too. I really enjoyed his stuff, and I guess he's got some new stuff coming out. I'd love to talk to him about that sometime. But just for the record, I think that the probably my favorite song on your record is "All I Want to Do," and there's so much of that Badfinger Beatles vibe to it that really kind of subtly comes through, but I love it, man. That's my favorite of the whole album. But
oh, thank you, man. The songs come as they come, don't they?
Yeah.
And I'm from an era. That's the way I learned to write songs, and that's the way I learned to record them. Really,
mm-hmm.
The to be called. I think it sounds lovely.
Oh, I do too.
I can't tell you how happy I am, and everybody seems to like a different tune. I'm getting a lot of comments on them all, comments like you just made yourself. It reminds them of things that they like, and they like the tune anyway. It's a great, it's a great thing, great feeling, man. I'll tell you that.
Well, I can imagine. Well, what's your plans once the pandemic is over with? I imagine you're going to be trying to get back out on the road again and get some support behind the album that way, right?
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
Do you have any idea when that might start?
I believe maybe late spring, 2021.
Okay.
That's when we've been told that things might be somewhat getting back together. Again, man, those shows I was talking to you about, they're putting those, or they're trying to get those back out in like April,
Yeah.
And then maybe in the fall next year too. We're already looking at, if that doesn't happen, we are looking about our 2022, and I'd try and do the same thing then. But it's all the pandemic, isn't it? What are you going to do?
Yeah. Yeah. It's
there are some independent promoters, which are they're looking to do different kinds of shows, minimal audiences, podcasts, live films, in decent venues. Real live shows, but almost like TV concerts, I suppose.
Yeah.
The people are talking about that. I think the audiences do miss the live shows, and so anything we can get as close to that will work. I think, and I think as long as the artists can put their performance out. I mean, it's a different thing performing in a TV studio, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
hopefully.
You feed off of the vibe from the crowd, and the crowd feeds off the vibe of the band, and that's missing right now. I mean, TV type of things are all well and good, but there's nothing like, being able to sit in a seat in a theater. And for me, I kind of look beyond the songs and see how you guys are interacting with each other, seeing how how tight you are,
sure.
and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But,
it's a lot of fun playing live. Those the little theatre gigs are great. It's just enjoyable. And you're right, the audience feeds off the band, and the band feeds off the audience. So,
right.
We need it, and the sooner the better, really.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I'm looking forward to it, but, at the same time, we're in the middle of this situation. We'll just have to be patient, I suppose, and hopefully we'll still be around when this thing's over.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'll keep an eye on your website and on your itinerary to see when you guys are going to hit it, and I'd like to try to catch you guys again. I haven't seen you in concert since that time I was telling you about in Dallas 11 years ago, so I'm way overdue to catch your gig.
Yep.
But well, hey, one more question.
It'd be nice to go back there.
Yeah. Well, I want to catch you here in Knoxville or Nashville. I'm in Nashville all the time too, and if you come through there, either place, man, I want to catch you and maybe catch you backstage and say hi and shake your hand and such. It'd be an honor to do that again. But
it'd be nice to see you. Yeah.
Well, one more question for you, and I'll let you go. And hopefully you and I will get to talk more in the future as as you do more things and that kind of thing. My door is always open to you, Joey. So if you got something you want to get the word out about, feel free to let me know either through your people or directly, and we'll definitely give you the microphone. But the thing I wanted to ask you for now, though, and it's not meant to be in a macabre type of question or anything, but you've been in the business a long time, and a lot of memories, a lot of changes, a lot of friends are no longer here, and that type of thing. And I know for me, it kind of helps me to keep things in perspective as I think about, what kind of legacy am I going to leave to my daughter and, to the world, that type of thing. So my question for you, and I know you've probably been asked it a million times, is, how do you want to be remembered? And what do you hope your legacy is when this life's over?
Well, I don't really think in terms of legacies. I try and do my best for my family and then for my friends, and try and help a little bit. I want to promote good things. I want people to know that there's hope and there's faith.
Right.
If you can keep hold of those things, it'll be all right. I'm a fan. I'm a believer that it'll be all right.
Yeah, I agree.
I guess I'd like to pass that on. Really. That feeling I was raised by a good mom and a good dad. I had 5 brothers. We all were really pretty good friends. A happy family, if you like. We all worked like crazy. Like when the Bad Finger Band broke up and the guy took all the money, and we were left really destitute with no money at all. And so I had to go get a day job, didn't I? Pay me rent. We literally lost everything, and it was the idea. What was in my mind all the time was this all work out, And I was a carpenter for a while. I laid rope for a while. I know Tommy, the bass player. He went back to and Mike went back to work and drummer, and that's what we did. We were all raised to that, And if you get up in the morning, go to work, it'll definitely all work out,
Yeah.
And that's all you can do. You can carry on, carry on regardless.
That's right. Well, man, Joey, it's been an honor to talk to you and to meet you again here. And again, I love the album. Big old salute to you because you did an amazing job on it. And I'm not just saying that. It's a great album, and I think it's going to do very, very well for you. And hopefully this pandemic will lift soon, and we'll be able to see you on stage again before you know it.
I'd love it. I'll be there, man.
All right, my friend. Well, stay well. Your family stay well, and we'll talk to you down the road.
You too, man. Be safe.
All right. Thank you. Take care.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, man. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
This has been another stellar episode of Boomerocity with your host, producer, and friend, Randy Patterson. The theme music is Roll the Dice by our good friend Quentin Hope, and all rights reserved and used by permission, of course. Post-production is done by Cardinal Sins Productions. The Boomerocity name, logo, and content is copyright protected, so all segments may only be used with written consent by Boomerocity and or its assignees. You should direct your inquiries to input@boomerocity.com, and the copyright is 2025.